This is the rotary that I made for our K40. I posted a quick video of it running, but it's kind of hard to see what's actually going on. So I thought I would show how it's set up and how you put a glass on and whatnot. So basically, it has the motor down here, but we take the wires and we run them through this hole in the side here just because it's convenient right now. And you can see that it's not a stock K40, but these are the two motor controllers. And I'm assuming most boards you can swap out unplug the Y-axis relatively easily. So what we do is we unplug the Y-axis and we plug in the motor for the rotary instead. And with that, we're able to enable the rotary function on light burn. If you get a chance to use light burn, go ahead and use it. It's not too expensive and it works really well, and they keep updating it, which is cool. Basically, it just changes up the steps per millimeter, so the rotary works. But you can see that the width of the machine allows you to just drop it in pretty well, straight down to the ground. If you really need to adjust for small glasses, you have to shim it. But other than that, I typically line it up in this corner and tape it in for doing consistency on the glasses. Hopefully I'll have a more solid way of doing that in the future. Let's pull this guy out and we'll look at how you would actually set up a glass on it. See if I can get this. Okay. So it's got a couple of different bits and pieces that move around. You've got the drive gear. This is a laser cutout gear that's just friction fitted onto the motor, and it drives this larger wheel here. The important part is this tensioner rod. Typically, I've been using an O-ring, but you can also use a rubber band and wrap it around these screws to adjust your tension. It can also be pulled off. It's got different teeth for adjusting it further back for different size glasses. So far I haven't really had to use that, but just in case. Also, it's just nice to be able to pull it off if you don't need it or if it's in the way. You can loosen this and adjust where it's going to actually put pressure on the glass. That's pretty good for changing up from shot glasses to like beer steins and stuff like that, or pub glasses. Sorry, I haven't done beer stein yet. So I'm going to just set that to the side for now. On this side, we've got these two, which will adjust for the length of your glass, and these two for adjusting your height, at least the drastic height adjustment. Next will be these guys, and this one, these are just idle wheels, and they can be adjusted to fit your glass better. So you can bring these in and it'll raise the glass up a little bit, but you don't want it to be too unstable. So if I was going to set up this glass, typically what I do first is I move this out of the way, and I will put this in here. And because the K40 doesn't have a whole lot of clearance between its focal point and the bottom of its I don't know, chassis, I suppose, I made this so that it was really low, and you adjust this idler wheel further away so that the bottom of the glass comes really close to the floor, and then I'd measure the focus to make sure that it was the right height here. Then I'd bring this in, didn't break anything. Take the glass, put it off the side, and then I'd line it up this way and get it roughly in the center there by just twisting these knobs and pushing them in and out. And those can always be adjusted later, but it's a good ballpark. So put those there. Get the length on this guy actually pretty snug up for now, because when I adjust up the height, it'll actually pull the glass out a little bit further. And if when you're done it's squeezing too hard, it'll make it hard for the motor to turn the glass, and you'll lose steps, which is a bummer. But I can loosen these guys, and they can actually be left relatively tight so that you can adjust them without the whole thing falling. So now to get this nice and level with the focal point, I'll just drag it back over and check, and you're pretty much good to go at that point. The only thing to check is to make sure that these wheels are up on the glass when it rotates. If it's too far off center, it'll kind of wobble the glass, which will ruin your etches here. But aside from that, been able to do small shot glasses, and the glass that did not break. Been able to do these dollar store, I don't know, champagne glasses, I suppose. Can also do fairly thin shot glasses, and this particular wheel comes in nice and close, so you're able to get pretty small diameter things in there. I haven't gone that small yet, but we'll see. And if it wasn't clear before, the wheel goes on the inside of this glass, so that allows it to push down in the right spot. I was having trouble with that on the last one, that's why I put this little swing arm in there. But yeah, planning on releasing the designs for it. One problem is that it's not just the laser cutting, it's also got an acrylic bend in here, but that's just a fun project to make the acrylic bender. Anyways, it's not very hard. These holes are made so you can just tap right into it, whereas this hole, and where this one is mounted, you actually do have to tap for an M5, but all that's not too bad. You can also adjust the rails to any length that you want to do, and if you have a bigger machine, you can do, I don't know, rolling pins or something like that. I also made it this wide so that in the future, once I get it into our larger Cam 5 machine, I'll be able to do handled glasses on there. Right now the K40 won't allow you to do that unless you cut the bottom out, which I haven't gotten to that point. But yeah, so this is a small NEMA 17 motor, which is great for the Cam 5 over here. But the K40. But once we go into this Cam 5, we're waiting for the warranty to run out on it. We'll be able to put in an extra motor controller on the side there, and a little more hands-on, but flip-flopping extra connections around should allow it to work pretty well. So I hope you got a good idea of what was going on there. Feel free to ask me questions. All right, have a good one. Bye, Arlo.